Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. This is Sister Crystal here with Let's Talk Classic Hip Hop Remix. And I'm coming here today sending out a plea to the true Aaliyah fans. I'm asking for you true Aaliyah fans out there to stand up. Stand up. Stand up for Aaliyah's mom, Diane Haughton. I'm asking for you guys to do this because, as you guys may already know, there is a documentary that has come out, or a docu-series. It's already aired. It started January 3rd, 2019, called Surviving R.Kelly. And it was a 3-day event. It was 6 parts and a total of 6 hours. Now, I want to put full disclosure here. I have not seen that documentary, but I'm also saying I don't really care to see the documentary, and I don't need to see the documentary for what I have heard so far on these internet streets, on these social media streets. All the social medias include, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, including Twitter, YouTube, the one that I'm on now, Facebook, Instagram. The internet is, I don't know if I would say they broke the internet with this R.Kelly docuseries, but it's pretty close. But I'm saying all this to say there was a statement that was released by Diane Haughton to the Aaliyah, let me make sure I got this right, to the Aaliyah for Mac Twitter account. And the statement was emailed to them, allegedly emailed to them by Aaliyah's brother, Rashid Haughton. And in the statement, pretty much Diane Haughton is not in agreement with the documentary, but I really don't want to be stuck on that. I'm going to read her statement, and I'm also going to go into why I am asking for fans of Aaliyah to stand up and show love to Diane Haughton. She is the mom who has had to suffer the having to bury her daughter, and it's really unnatural to have to bury your child. And that's what this woman had to do back in 2001, back in when Aaliyah, along with 8 others, passed away on August 25th, 2001, and Aaliyah was only 22 years young when she perished. But I'm going to read this statement, and then I'm going to go into why I'm asking for fans of Aaliyah to come out and just show their love to Diane Haughton. She really needs it right now. And I'm going to tell you why I'm asking for that, if you so kindly would. Okay, so in Mrs. Haughton's statement, Mrs. Diane Haughton, the statement reads, and it was posted on January 2nd, 2019 on the Twitter account, and it says, quote, "The woman and so-called backup singer in the forthcoming Surviving," and it has dots, but it's the Surviving R. Kelly series, documentary that describes seeing, meeting, or ever breathing the same air as my daughter Aaliyah, is lying and is a liar. My husband and I were always on tour with her and at interviews and every place she went throughout her entire career. Whoever this woman is, I have never seen her before anywhere on planet Earth until now. And it continues. These lies and fabrications cannot be tolerated and allowed to be spewed from the forked tongues of saboteurs of Aaliyah's legacy. My daughter only wanted to realize her dream of sharing her talent with the world and give her all performing on stage and in front and from top of the camera for fans she adored so much. She realized that dream thanks to those true fans who still love and support her legacy unconditionally to this day. Shame on all of those involved in this project who thought it kosher to drag Aaliyah's name into a situation that has nothing to do with her today. Once again, this will not be tolerated. Sincerely, Diane Haughton. And so I read that, and there was a subsequent message from Team Aaliyah, and it basically was asking for the fans to support Diane Haughton, and kind of well, I was reading it, and it was asking for people to forward the message from Diane Haughton, Aaliyah's mom, to the different outlets and stuff like that. Now, for me, I am very not tech savvy, so I'm barely on just now getting used to YouTube, let alone Twitter and all those other ones. But I'm doing the best I can as a middle-aged woman, just trying to do what I can to try to get the word out or whatever. But I said all that to say, Aaliyah fans, please come out. I'm doing sort of like a tag. So I'm not tagging anyone, and partly because I'm not sure who are true Aaliyah fans or not. Now, I've heard people call this woman, Diane Haughton, everything but a child of God. I've heard people in their videos calling her the B word and everything else. And you know what? While you may disagree with what Mrs. Diane Haughton stated in her statement, she has the right to state it. I do understand other people have the right to feel how they feel about her statement. But as a true Aaliyah fan, and I will go out and say I am Aaliyah and Aaliyah stan fan. For people to disagree, that's fine. But I've heard people call Diane Haughton out of her name and in the same breath say they are an Aaliyah fan, which is why I put on here true Aaliyah fans. Because if you were truly an Aaliyah fan, you would not call her mother out of her name, even though you disagree, or you may disagree with the statement. Remember, this is a mom who is grieving, and people can say what they want about the mom coming out and saying something about this documentary. I do agree with the mother when she says this has nothing to do with her daughter. I agree with that. However, we understand that as long as R.Kelly is around, and even after, for eternity, Aaliyah will always be a part of his history, as well as R.Kelly is a part of Aaliyah's history. Do I believe they could have made this surviving R.Kelly without going into detail about Aaliyah? Yes, I do. I believe they could have just mentioned Aaliyah, just with the elephant in the room. Yes, there was a marriage certificate. But again, her mom has the right to feel the way she feels. We really need to stand up and get the people to back off of Diane Haughton. Just the hostility that I have read and heard online from this woman. And not only has she lost her daughter, she has since lost her husband too. So her husband, Aaliyah's father, Michael Haughton, he passed away in 2012. But really the point of this video is to ask true fans of Aaliyah to just make videos in support of Aaliyah, in support of Aaliyah's mom, and to show that there are still fans out here who care about her daughter's legacy and care about her. Because if it wasn't for her, there wouldn't be an Aaliyah. And I'm saying this because, from my understanding, Diane Haughton she was a singer in her own right. But when she learned that her young daughter, Aaliyah Dana Haughton, was coming up, I think she was around 6 years old, and she wanted to act and sing, her mother, Diane, put aside her own career to help support her daughter. And although we're parents, I'm a parent myself, sometimes it's hard to put aside your dreams to support your children's dream, but that's exactly what she did. And I don't know if Diane Haughton will ever hear this or what have you, but I just want to say publicly, thank you, Mrs. Diane Haughton, for sharing your daughter with the world. Your daughter, Aaliyah, she left us her music and her movies and her works for us to enjoy. The main thing is we thank you. We know you sacrificed spending a lot of just having your daughter to yourself, because when people become celebrities and go out there and perform, yes, they're still people, they're still human, but they pretty much become like public figures, and that's what Aaliyah became. And what I am saying is we don't have the right to be disrespectful towards you just because we may not agree or may not agree with whatever. It's not for us to agree. You have the right to put your statement out there. As an Aaliyah fan, I want to thank you. I also want to say your daughter's legacy is safe. One of a big example is the Aaliyah Mac collection. Fans had started that years ago, and they kept on with the Aaliyah Mac collection until finally Mac was like, okay, we're going to give this a try. This is from a young lady who passed away almost 18 years ago. And in June 2018, we finally get the Aaliyah Mac collection. And that was because of her fans. Many of them probably around my age and some a little younger. We kept on. And so I want to say, Diane Haughton, keep your head up. Again, I just want to talk to the fans too. Fans of Aaliyah, stand up, give your love and support to Diane Haughton. Show her that we care for her. We know that if Aaliyah were around today, she would not like people calling her mom all kinds of names and all this kind of stuff out of her name and being hostile towards her mother because they disagree with her. If you are a true Aaliyah fan, you would not say in one breath you are a fan of Aaliyah and you like her music, but in the same breath you're calling her mother a B and all out of her name. You are not a real fan. And if Aaliyah were here, she wouldn't care to have you as a fan. And I'm only speaking to fans of Aaliyah. If you're not a fan of Aaliyah, I'm not talking to you. We have got to stand up. She's not here to defend herself. And really, for lack of a better way to put it, I'm not even sure why Aaliyah would have to defend herself. She has shown and proven herself that she can do and be successful with whoever she decided to work with. And she did that. Whether it was R.Kelly, whether it was Missy and Timbaland, whoever, whether it was Static Major, Tank, whoever she decided to work with, she can work and make a hit and make platinum plus hits with whoever she works with. No one made Aaliyah. Aaliyah made Aaliyah. So Aaliyah fans, stand up and show some love to Mrs. Diane Haughton and get the haters off of Mrs. Diane Haughton. Get the haters off of Aaliyah's mom. She needs our support right now. This woman is here having to deal with living without her daughter being physically here. She has to live without her husband being physically here. She doesn't need to have other people who don't know her piling on her simply because they don't agree with a statement or what have you. That's their problem. And another thing, I want to say, I've been hearing a lot of comments online talking about the reason that Aaliyah's mother, Diane Haughton, is speaking out now against this Surviving R.Kelly documentary is because she does not want the checks to stop. She's supposedly supposed to be getting paid from R. Kelly's music because she allegedly owns R. Kelly's publishing rights. I went all over the internet and looking up and down and around and everything, and I have not found anything that supports that false narrative. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a false narrative because I have not seen any proof that Mrs. Diane Haughton, Aaliyah's mom, that she owns R. Kelly's music publishing rights and therefore she's getting paid from R. Kelly's music, and that's why she came out and spoke out against this docuseries, which is since has been shown and a lot of people have seen it already. Again, Aaliyah fans, we have to stand up and come against these accusations that are being, well, I wouldn't say accusations, but just show love to Aaliyah's mom. Aaliyah, the anniversary of her birthday on January 16th, 2019, Aaliyah would turn 40 years young, really, still young. And that's coming up. So I'm quite sure, as a fan who has never met Aaliyah, I know it. So I'm quite sure her mom, that might be a really hard day for her mom, thinking about her daughter and the fact that her daughter is no longer physically here. So again, we have to speak up and speak out against this false narrative that's being put against Aaliyah's mother. And again, this is support for the mom. It's nothing against the R.Kelly's, people that's speaking out against R.Kelly now, the young girls who are now grown or whoever else is coming out. This is not anything against them. This is just focused on Aaliyah's mom and showing support for her. But because I'm saying show support, or I'm asking Aaliyah's fans, Aaliyah's true fans, to support Aaliyah's mom and give her the love and support that I know Aaliyah would want us to show her mom. That doesn't mean I'm against any of the other alleged young, I want to say survivors. I don't want to say victims, because in every sense of the word, we're speaking of Aaliyah. Aaliyah was a survivor in every sense of the word. So I support the survivors of R. Kelly's alleged goings on or what have you, but this is just to show support for Aaliyah's mom, Diane Haughton, but it's not against anyone else. I do have to say that. I really feel I shouldn't have to say that, but a lot of people, anyway, again, we have to come up against that false narrative that Aaliyah's mom owns R. Kelly's publishing rights. She, from what I've seen, I have not seen any evidence of that. I'm not going to just say she does not, but I haven't seen any evidence that she does own it. And the people who are saying that have not shown any evidence to contrary that says that Aaliyah's mom owns R. Kelly's publishing rights to his music. They have not shown any evidence other than them talking and running their mouth. People can say I'm talking and running my mouth too, but I am talking and running my mouth. But I also took the time to do research, which is why I'm so late. I guess I'm right on time, but I'm taking this time to make this video because I do research. I don't just run with what everybody else says about people. And even though these are celebrities and their parents, they're people too. So I take the time to do research on the stuff. Again, let's stand up and show support for Aaliyah's mom, Diane Haughton. Also, make a video in support of Aaliyah and Aaliyah's mom, Diane Haughton. Make a video in support of Aaliyah's mom, Diane Haughton, and feel free to tag me in it, Sistah Crystal of Let's Talk Classic Hip Hop Remix. I would like to make this into a tag video. Just say something like, I support Mrs. Diane Haughton, Aaliyah's mom. Because she does have a name. We know her as Aaliyah's mom, but at least you put down that she's Aaliyah's mom and put her name, Mrs. Diane Haughton, or something like that. Or you can say, I support the Haughton family, and tag me in it. I'll watch your video and come through and show support like that. So hopefully this can take off. Also, feel free to leave comments as long as they're respectful. You don't have to agree, but we can agree to disagree respectfully. But again, make some tag videos, show support, especially with the upcoming anniversary. Aaliyah would have turned 40 years young this coming up January 16th, 2019. So just show Aaliyah's mom, Diane Haughton, and the Haughton family, but especially Aaliyah's mom. Show her some love and tag. I'm quite sure, I know she might have limited access to social media, perhaps through her son, Aaliyah's big brother, Rashid Haughton. I'm quite sure he can get the messages back to his mom. I am confident that it's a way that Aaliyah's mom may hear these messages. So feel free to do that. And again, tag me in it. I want to get something going viral. I don't know if they say make it go viral anymore. I'm kind of telling my age, but again, I want to have something positive and show support for anything, if anything else, a mom who lost her child, a mom who's had to suffer with the pain of having to bury a child. That's just unnatural. So just show support, if you will, for Aaliyah's mom, Diane Haughton. And I'm quite sure they'll greatly appreciate that. So until next time, this is Sister Crystal with Let's Talk Classic Hip Hop Remix. And until next time, take care.